Ernest Mansfield. Who was he? Ernest was born in London, but emigrated to New Zealand aged 16. He travelled widely throughout his life. He started his career in a music shop on this Wanganui Street in 1880, where he gave banjo lessons, wrote poetry and short stories. In 1890, and in his 20s, he was a member of the Wanganui Brass Band. In 1893, he took a job as a reporter on the local newspaper. He reported on gold rushes in the area and became hooked on the business side of it. He sought publicity for his many prospecting enterprises, but not all were successful, and he suddenly moved to Australia. Here's a newspaper report from 1896. But it seems he didn't stay there long. Ernest joined the Klondike Gold Rush in 1898, and later he recorded that he had made his fortune. He later settled in the Nelson area of British Columbia and built Camp Mansfield in a remote location there in his quest for gold. Many Mansfield mining and prospecting deals were reported locally. However, his fundraising activities again became controversial, and in 1900 he orchestrated a jail sentence for himself to get more investment funding from Europe. In that same year, he bought and developed a marble and brick company and had a major role in constructing the building on the left here. Due to his growing fame locally, a creek was named after him, but in the early 1900s he suddenly moved to England. There has never been any gold in Goldhanger, but he went into partnership with the local rector and doctor and made the first of many trips to Spitsbergen with the rector in 1904. He was soon again getting publicity. They formed the Northern Exploration Company in the UK, raised capital and claimed large areas of Spitsbergen land. Ernest employed the Goldhanger undertaker and his mate to build several huts on Spitsbergen. The huts were all given names: Camp Mansfield, Camp Zoe after his daughter, and camps named after their investors, Camp Morton and Camp Miller. While overwintering in a hut, Ernest wrote 2 books. and 2 company prospectuses. A promising area for marble quarrying was named Marble Island, and the cluster of cabins built there was called New London. However, during World War I, all NEC operations ceased, and Ernest joined the British Army as a private. But his journalistic talents weren't wasted, and he wrote many articles for the regimental magazine. After the war, NEC activities resumed, and a Marconi radio station was built there. Many of those cabins still exist, are in prominent positions, and have a protected status. NEC owned a cargo vessel and a small cutter named after Ernest's daughter, Zoe. They also imported heavy machinery from the UK, much of which is still there. But their biggest disaster was the realization that the brightly coloured marble crumbled when large blocks were shipped to the UK, despite taking hundreds of sample cores from all over Marble Island. The company never recovered from that. In 1928, the Norwegian government acquired all of NEC's lands and assets. This map shows the area of land they owned at the time. And the company also owned more than 50 cabins spread all along the west coast of Spitsbergen. Many are still there. Such was the respect for Ernest that a mountain was named after him. This is one of the last photos of Ernest in Norway with his wife Margaret and daughter Zoe. As well as 2 biographical novels, Ernest wrote numerous newspaper and magazine articles, and many others wrote about him. We have an archive of over 400 documents and a similar number of photographs and maps. So there is much more to tell about this charismatic and legendary character.